An xwOBA merchant is a player with a significantly higher xwOBA than wOBA. This is supposed to mean bad luck, and sometimes it does. It also often means that they have a habit for pulling balls directly into the shift, since expected statistics do not take batted ball direction into account. Let's do the rankings. Number 10, Matt Carpenter. He had a 427 X slug to a 275 slug. This is because he's a fly ball happy pull hitter, which is usually a good thing. However, he is also a senior citizen, and his power is not what it used to be, so his max exit velocity was only about 107 miles per hour. This is close to the league average max exit velocity, but his plate approach causes him to hit all these fly balls that are pretty adored by expected statistics, but they just kind of wind up being lazy flyouts at the deepest part of the park. xwOBA merchant. Carlos Santana. Remember how I said that xwOBA merchants have a tendency to pull balls directly into the shift? Well, he was the most shifted on player in the league in 2021, hence his minus .30 batting average minus expected batting average, and his minus .80 slugging minus X slugging. xwOBA merchant. Number 8 is Francisco Lindor. He has a $341 million contract, so I would say he is in fact a merchant. He is also very good at fielding baseballs. It's likely that he's just not as great a hitter as the Mets may have hoped, but there aren't any obvious causes, like being an extreme pull hitter, for his xwOBA merchantry. His xwOBA was 345, and his career xwOBA has been 347. However, his wOBA this year is only 317. He's not a huge pull hitter or anything like that. He's just struggled to turn that xwOBA into real results. I guess that's why they still play the games. xwOBA merchant. Tommy Pham is pretty similar to Lindor in several facets. Both are decently balanced hitters, having basically the same average and max exit velos. Where Tommy Pham struggles is the hit the ball in the air challenge, with half of his batted balls being ground balls. Ground balls slashed a measly ass 239, 239, 264 last year. Pham hit 254 with 6 doubles, going 43 of 169 on his ground balls. xwOBA merchant. Jorge Solaire. Only World Series MVP to be below replacement level that year. He pulls the ball a lot, so he's an xwOBA merchant. He also decided that he could hit righties again once he joined the Braves. xwOBA merchant. Manny Machado. I watched a decent bit of Padres baseball this year, and Manny was the only hitter that I truly felt was consistently getting bad luck. He's not a huge pull hitter. He has 4 expected home runs to home runs. Not a perfect stat, I know. But here's a better one. StatCast defines a hard hit ball as a ball being hit at 95 miles per hour or more. Hitters hit 488 on such balls. Manny led MLB in hard hit outs with 134. He was also third in outs on batted balls with an expected batting average of at least 500. Basically just had a lot of good contact not dropper hits. xwOBA merchant. Number 4 is Josh Donaldson, one of my favorite players in the league, because he was able to completely revolutionize hitting and save his career by concocting this violent power swing after researching the effects of launch angle and exit velocity on your OPS. He was the first player to really try to science hitting, and it's been nothing short of a complete success for him. Josh hits the ball hard and he barrels it a ton, being 99th percentile in average exit velocity and 95th in barrel rate. He's also 94th in walks. His xwOBA merchantry comes primarily from poor results compared to expectations on the 4 pitches he sees most frequently, being fastballs, sliders, sinkers, and changeups, which combine between the 4 of them to be about 70% of the total pitches he sees. His wOBA on fastballs is 399 to 417 expected, sliders are 365 to 399, sinkers are nearly identical with 448 to 449, and changeups are 365 to 396. He was worst against curveballs, where he had an 80 wOBA to a 201 xwOBA, kinda similar to number 3. Josh Donaldson is an xwOBA merchant. Number 3, Max Muncie, who is actually a very similar player to Josh Donaldson. Hard-hitting, big barrel guys who absolutely dominate the strike zone, neither chasing a lot and both being about 95th percentile in walks. Here's the difference, though. Muncie was amazing against four-seamers in 2021, being worth 21 runs above average on that pitch. Donaldson was worth -1. Muncie had a 480 wOBA on fastballs, actually greater than his 468 xwOBA. The discrepancy came against off-speed and breaking pitches. Against off-speed, he had a 265 wOBA to his 347 expected, and against breaking pitches, it was 334 to 362. Slower pitches are harder to not pull, and Muncie was the 15th most shifted on player in MLB for a reason. xwOBA Merchant. Number 2 is Freddy Freeman. He's not even a huge pull hitter and was basically league average in terms of his batted ball direction rates, but had a 379 wOBA on fastballs to a 436 xwOBA. Expected batting average is not a perfect stat, and I'll be the first to say that. However, Freddie Freeman led MLB in outs on batted ball events with an expected batting average of at least 500 with 52 such instances. That's why he's an xwOBA Merchant. Number 1 is Aaron Judge. This man struck out in 25% of his plate appearances and still had a 99th percentile StatCast expected batting average of 308. Fun fact, he also had a 600 wOBAcon in 2017, the year he won MVP. Judge, like Freeman, was basically league average in terms of batted ball direction rates. His xwOBA on fastballs was 489, with only a 443 wOBA to match. But unlike Freeman, who was shifted on about 70% of the time, Judge was shifted on 31% of the time. It's not that Freeman pulled the ball way more than Aaron Judge did. It's just that lefties tend to be shifted on more in general. But his wOBA on the 191 plate appearances he was shifted on was a good but not Judge-like 332. For the 427 that he was not shifted on, it was 404. Maybe he saved pulling the ball for the worst time, or maybe just something else. Anyway, Aaron Judge is a fantastic player. He won MVP in 2017, and he is an xwOBA Merchant.